Today we're going to be talking about informal assessments. So an informal assessment is a casual form of assessment. It's ungraded and it's just a quick check-in of student progress. It can help identify areas of growth for students. Your groups can be formed from these informal assessments. It also is there to aid and guide your future instruction. As well, this should continue throughout the entire year to continue to update your groups and update your instruction as you continue through the school year. We're going to go over 4 different types of informal assessments very briefly here today. The first informal assessment is anecdotal notes. So these are used within the class, just quick observation to be jotted down. If you're noticing a student struggling or maybe doing something well that you want to remember, you can jot this down in a quick anecdotal note. Anything you want to remember for later is a good idea to use as an anecdotal note. Some assistive technologies that we can use are stickies for the computer, Google Keep, Word, Google Docs. There's a plethora of options out there. Some of these options are very beneficial for you because they can have their own personal timestamp, so you know exactly the time and the date of when that happened. It doesn't take up any physical space, so you're not going to lose these little slips of piece of paper or actual physical sticky notes that you may have in your classroom. Also with these assistive technologies is it's shareable. You can send it to somebody else. Someone else can have access to change or add their own anecdotal notes as well. Some of the disadvantages is it can become very extensive as you continue throughout the year and can be a lot to look at if you are unable to keep it organized. Sometimes they're just a small moment of time, therefore you're only looking at one small thing and you're going to need more throughout the year to continue your informal assessments. Our next informal assessment is an exit ticket. Exit ticket is at the end of a lesson, a quick question or check-in with the student to see what they were able to retain or learn from the lesson. The assistive technology that can be used are Google Forms, polls within Google Meet if you're teaching virtually, Nearpod, Padlet, quizzes, Kahoot. All of these are great to use. It keeps all your answers and everything right online for you to be able to go back and look at. It's very quick. The students like it. They can finish out very quick. The questions can also be differentiated. And like I said before, the big benefit is you can go back and check without having to go through paper within your classroom. The disadvantage is that it does take planning ahead of time. You're going to need to create this before your lesson actually happens. So it's going to take a little bit more time on the beginning. You're going to need to share your links out as well. Our next informal assessment is a work sample. So you're collecting a work sample from a student. So this will allow you to see what they're doing in the lesson and you can check their work that way as well. Some assistive technologies in Nearpod, Google Suite, use of their computer, use of their tablet as well. Nearpod is a big one where everything that a student does within a Nearpod lesson is saved. So you can take any sample or any work that they have done within Nearpod and you can use that as one of their student work samples. Students can share their work with the teacher. So through Google Suite on their computer or tablet, they can share that right with you. Some of the disadvantages can be that it can be bulky and can become a lot. So it's very important to make sure that you keep this organized. Students also get to choose their work that they send at times, so they're going to be kind of picky on what they do send, so may not get a full example of what the student actually knows. Finally is our portfolio. Portfolios put together student work samples and things that they do throughout the year to put together. Google Keep, G Suite, and Seesaw are some of the top assistive technologies. This can cover multiple subject areas. It can allow a one-stop shop to kind of look at all the things the student has done in many different subject areas and throughout the school year. One of the disadvantages is you need to log in and it can become very lengthy, many pages for you to have to kind of look through. Another advantage is it is shareable within teachers, administrators, and others in the school. So we went over informal assessments. It's a quick check-in, helps guide future instruction, and continues through the whole year. The 4 examples we went over were anecdotal notes, exit ticket, work sample, and portfolio.